Welcome back to The Christian View. Today we have with us actress Ali Froid.
Ali, let me ask you something. What happens, Molly, I think of Molly Cyrus because I didn't grow up, but my little granddaughters grew up, and I grew up watching them with her. What happens to these young kids? Had everything in the world going for her. Smart, funny, pretty, had it all. It's like, when is enough that they got to go off into another direction?
Right. I'm so lucky that I'm not, in that situation, and that I haven't put myself into that situation. But it's easy to fall into it.
I'm sure.
When you're on set and you're around a lot of people, you work really late hours, you're stressed out all the time, so you rely on things that are drug-related, or even things that are mental, like image and stuff like that. So I think that they just get that in their head. I loved Amanda Bynes a lot. Like, I followed her and watched all of her movies. And for her, I'm just rooting and praying that she gets back up on her shoes and gets it right again. But I think it's just something where, you have all of this money too.
Right.
Money doesn't buy happiness, but it can definitely get you in trouble.
Right. That's true.
You can go crazy with money. So I think things like that.
A lot of pressure. I mean, there really is a lot of pressure with the industry, and I think we as Christians have to be non-judgmental. And like you said, you're praying for her. Right. I think that's one thing, is praying for somebody. I was following another model, and I think she was on one of the finalists of America's Top Models, Leah Dowry, I think it is, Darrow. And she was saying that she got into the industry and she moved farther along, and she was in a position where she called her dad one night after she was in the midst of taping something that was risque. And she walked off the set in tears, went and called her dad and said, "You've got to come and get me, or I'm about to lose my soul." And what a realization. But I think that that's what we have to pray for, because we can sit as Christians back and judge people so easily. But it's a hard industry, and I think you can bring light to that.
You said you had an agent. Does your agent pressure you, or do you think the pressure's from within?
Maybe that's the key, is having the right agent.
Where would you say the pressure is, from within or without?
My agent is amazing. She definitely does not ever want anyone to go against their morals or standards. So she is amazing in that department. Yeah. But I think it is from within. It's from getting those roles and thinking for just a slight moment, I can be in that huge movie and I can make the big bucks and I can have my breakthrough. But is it worth my morals?
Ali, I think also because, I grew up in the industry from a child, so I understand what you're saying. And I actually was in New York when I was working. And, there is a lot of pressure, but, I mean, especially now, you're so young now in the industry, and there's just a lot of temptations out there. But, part of it, when you modeling, acting, is like a whole different world, and when you're around other models and actors, they do certain things, and it's a way of life, and you just have to continue to stay grounded and stay focused, because it's easy to get involved in the things that they're getting involved with when those are the people that you're associating yourself most of the time with. Do you kind of separate yourself, after hours, after you're off the set? Do you?
Actually, I do, but I do only because I have so much other work that I'm doing. I've actually put myself into screenwriting and writing a book at the moment, and working on a lot of things behind the camera as well as in front of the camera. So a lot of the things that take up my time is work, but if I had those free times, I would actually prefer to go out with them and suggest the place, hey, let's go grab coffee. We wrapped. And talk about it and see if I can make a difference and a change in those people.
Wonderful. We need more Christians in the industry.
Do you feel like you're in the minority,
sure.
with such a high standard? And how are you received among your peers, or when you're on set?
I do. I get a lot of feedback, a lot of great feedback that, I've changed other people's ways just from my posts or my stories, and my journey and sharing it, because I'm very open about it. I think being open about that and sharing what you're going to have to face in the future that people haven't faced yet, and how you can overcome it easily has helped other people. And so that's my main thing as an actress and an actor, is to be able to set an example.
That's right.
And say, you know,
That's
a
good.
lot of people don't think you can, but you can. You really can.
And you're the Georgia Rising Star. Is that what you were awarded? Is that right?
Yes. Yes, I am.
And how did you define that? You gave a definition for that night when you received
looked it up.
Yeah,
I did.
What does it mean?
So I just laid in bed. I'm that person that like wants definitions of everything. So my mom was like, well, if you got an award, Ali, you have to have a speech. I'm like, no, I don't want an award. My friends were like, just set something up. So I was just laying in bed the night before, and so I was like, okay, it's Rising Star Award. What does rising mean? And it means onward and upward, and star is a massive sphere of energy held together in gravity. And I was just like, the sky's the limit, you know, like right there, that's what it says. And so to me, the award is more so for making sure people are aware of that. You know, not that I'm a star, but everyone can be a star for that reason. You just have to believe in your heart, and you have to just go for your dreams.
That was what was so impressive to me about you that night, is rather than just making it all about you, you turned it and you encouraged the people in the audience that you can live your dream. You can go after your dream. That was awesome.
Thank you.
You know, Ali, you said you set limits, but do you mind sharing with us, where are some of those limits that you set?
Sure. So there's a lot of uncomfortable scripts that you get. There's scenes of topless, nudity. You know, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to show your behind? Are you willing to show a bare back? So there's all sorts of things that an agent wants to know so that they can or cannot submit you for those jobs. And my personal standards are nothing seen from the front, and definitely nothing seen on the bottom. So it's more so that's considered a private area for a reason.
Absolutely.
You know.
We're coming right back with Ali Froid. Stay with us.